Happy Doodle and Chat.
Happy Doodle and Chat. I'm so excited for today.
I am too. Well, we also have a pretty incredible guest with us today, so I'm excited to start talking about our guest. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Perfect. So she has been a supporter of teachers in change in education since 1997, which that makes my heart very happy. So from her company, Rethinking Learning, to her book, Define Your Why, her podcast, and her other co-authored books, she challenges everyone to believe in themselves. I am so excited to doodle and chat and learn all about Barbara Bray today.
Here we go. Well, hello.
Oh, that was so sweet.
We're excited to have you here with us today, Barbara. I feel like, I know Mandy's probably intersected with Barbara somewhere out there in the Twitter, when Twitter was Twitterverse. I know Barbara and I have I think we've orbited around each other, but never really had conversations, or we knew each other existed, and we knew each other were doing the work. But, it's exciting to put a face to the name and hear your voice and have you here with us today.
Oh, thank you. I know we've been following each other for a long time, and Mandy, you too. I mean, it's just that I didn't realize how exciting this was with the doodling, and so I've been following your doodles and your chats, and it's just an honor to be here.
Aw, well, we're very excited to have you here with us. And we have, as you know, because you're learning about it and others know, we have the bowl that knows, filled with very special questions written just for Barbara. And we call it the bowl that knows because it just seems to know the right question to give us as we're talking about our friend that's joining us today. So we're going to turn on our cameras, pick up our pens, and we're going to doodle and chat all about Barbara Bray today.
Uh-oh. That is so exciting. I don't know how you do this.
It's been a long journey. We would both say that where we are now is not what it looked like when we started.
Nope.
Well, that's how it is. You grow.
Yes, right. For sure. Mm-hmm. For definitely sure. All right. I didn't mention that we have a few just random questions in here that are just for funsies that even Mandy and I don't know what they are. So every once in a while, those will pop up also.
Oh.
But the fun thing is those random questions really are exactly the bowl that knows as well, because they usually fit in with what we're doing, or it's just the perfect story that you can share. The bowl doesn't disappoint.
Agreed.
Ooh, agreed. Okay.
Here we go. In your over 25 years of speaking and coaching, what are your favorite topics to talk about?
Well, they've changed. Mm-hmm. When I started, it's over 30 now years. When I started, it was all about tech.
Okay.
Because I was a technology integration specialist. I was part of some grants, and I shared the stories, but I also did just-in-time guides, so I would do those. That was my main thing. How do you do this? How do you do that? I do it really quick, tips and tricks. Then it changed when I started doing some teaching. I was working at the universities doing clear credential courses and things like that. But then I started learning a little bit more about student-centered learning, and then connected with Kathleen McClaskey, and we started Personalized Learning. And we put together a course on the 5 W's, which was, who, what, where, when, why, and where. And that happened I think it started in Iowa. We started there, and they helped us design this course. It was working with they call them the AED coaches. So I started working on personalized learning and talking about that, did a lot of speeches, and then it ended up in co-authoring 2 books on personalized learning. And then we decided to go in our own direction because I wanted to do more on the why, UDL, all of those things. And that's when I came up with define your why. So everything's been kind of moving in the direction of it's personalized, it's personal. And I felt learning is personal more than it's personalized. It's the person in that. And I wanted to really focus on why you're doing what you're doing and showing that your why can grow as you change and have more lived experiences. And so that's kind of where I'm now. I did, the grow your why is because we change. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can go on and on because I've been doing a lot. I don't know how much you want me to keep going.
No, this was wonderful.
I'm watching you draw, so I just love it. I don't know how you do this. This is amazing. For me, it's like I come from a family of artists. My mother was an artist. My daughter's an artist. My son was an actor and musical director, and everyone was creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I told you that I wasn't a teacher first. I was a dental hygienist first.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's in my book, Define Your Why. It tells my story. And I went into that because my guidance counselor told me at the college, said, there's a new program here and you're really good in science. Maybe you should try out. And so I did, and I got accepted. First, it was the first program at that college, and it was 18 chairs out of 700 people applying, and I got one of the chairs. And if you accept, you can't leave because you commit to being in that chair, So I did that, and I graduated, and then I got a wonderful job, and I had little children then, and realized I was good at it. I was really good at it. I got to the point where I went back and got more education and I taught dental hygiene for 4 years. But I started losing that love for it and learning more about technology and education. And that's how I got into education. I started working at the schools. I bought the first computer that came out. I thought it was like really big and I had to know how it worked. So I took it apart and put it back together again. That's how weird I was. And my family's like, what's wrong with mom? She's like, and to me, that really, it just shook my world. I didn't realize how much I loved technology and teaching and working in schools and helping. And so I could tell you more because I tell you, I've been around a long time, so I have a lot of stories. Do you want to ask me any more questions?
I love that it started with something non-education related and took you down that path. Because I think that's a story for a lot of people, really.
Yeah.
That they don't start in education or thinking about working with education, and something leads them to it. So I love that you shared that part of the story.
Well, I have a friend of mine said that I went from dental flossing to mental flossing because isn't that great? Because what happened is I was really good with the patient report. I worked in periodontal work, and so I had patients I saw every 3 months. I was actually at the level where I was a manager in my office, and I was also doing minor surgeries. I was doing a whole bunch because I wanted to test myself and challenge myself, but I couldn't go much farther. And when I started they had me go out on the circuit and training people. That's when I realized, oh my gosh, I really like teaching. And it hits you when something hits you and you get it. I guess that was my why at that point, was that I'm kind of going down the wrong road and I needed to change. So, and the way I changed was different because the money was really good. I had little children, and I was making more than my husband at that time, and we were having our house remodeled, and they left a hole in the deck, and I fell through it, and I broke my leg and my neck.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so someone said, like, whoa, God just said you better do something. But that's not, anyway, it really changed me because I sat there in traction for 4 months thinking, what in the world am I doing? And then when I went back to hygiene, I didn't have feeling in my hand, not knowing my neck was bad. And then I realized, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of forced on me to change. But now when I look back, why do something it's not your passion. It's not what you believe. And you shouldn't wait till you fall or get hurt or something happens to wake you up. And that's kind of what I did is I woke up, but I had to do it in that way. But I hope my lesson, what I can give is share my story so others, if you're in a situation you're not happy, try to look at it and see what are your strengths and your skills and what do you love? That's what I try to show now.
I love that.
Me too.
Well, sometimes you have to struggle and you have to have challenges or you won't change.
Sometimes life just makes you to, right?
Yeah. Well, for me it did, but I look back and it's probably the best thing that happened to me. I know it sounds terrible, but I was hard-headed. I just was looking at the money. I was looking at all these other things and not looking at, if I wasn't happy, what was it doing to my kids or my friends or my family, my husband, all of these things.
Sure.
And so, anyway, that's a long story.
That's okay. We love it.
It was a good story.
Yes, it was a very good story. Very good story.
Okay, another question.
What would Sarah and Andrew say you are a really good mom at?
Well, they've changed.
Yes.
Because they're probably your age.
Yes.
They say now that I listen. And I didn't always, because I was so busy with my own life and everything. And now I get a phone call. They don't live close. So they'll call me or they Zoom. And if you're on my podcast, you'll hear my son introduce me and stuff. We're very, very close. But their lives are so busy with their own children, their own worlds, that when they call, I just drop everything. So I can listen to what their lives are going through. So I think that's one of the things. My daughter used to make fun of me when I said, I love learning. And she made me a plaque with a heart and wrote, I love learning on it. Because she's an artist. She would make things for me all the time and tell me that, I get it, Mom, I get it. And now she's at that point. She's learning she's decided that she wants to learn how to sew, and she has 3 different machines. She's sewing on leather now and paints on it. It's amazing. I just can't even believe what she does. And my son, he was an actor and in a conservatory and a musical director. And then COVID happened and they had to close it. So he ended up going to a coding academy and he's a coder now, but he made a deal with them that he still wants to work with his high school so he could do the directing. So he still does that because it's his passion. So they both do something. They saw that I'm passionate about things and they tell me that it helps them keep on going. They don't stop. And I just love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that they even want to be with me. Because, some families, they get so busy, and if you don't live close, it makes it tough. But I get to fly up to Portland to see my grandson, Theo, and play with him. Or they come down here more. And then my granddaughter, Caden, is 17, and I get little text messages all the time. I'm just so glad that even though we're not close, physically, we're emotionally and socially, everything we do, we try to keep us together.
I love it. Mandy's close with her family as well, her kids. And then Mandy's becoming a grandmother later this year for the first time.
Really? Oh, congratulate. Oh, you're going to you won't believe it. It's so much better.
I'm already in trouble. Let me just tell you, I'm already in trouble. So
you're in trouble. Well, see, if you don't live close, you don't have to babysit all the time. That's
well, so they don't live close, but I'm actually kind of sad about that because I think that's one of the things. Like my mom was close with my kids and was able to do that, and that's something that I've hoped. So I hope they can get back closer to us. So because I want to go to soccer games, I want to go to.
I do that. I still do that. I would fly up, or at least I'm part of it. My granddaughter's a mountain climber, so I'm not really big on that, though. They tried. They belayed me once, and I'm halfway up crying. Well, they live in Truckee, near Tahoe, and it's a little different. And I'm not moving to the snow. I'm just not. And then my son lives in Portland, and it rains and rains and rains.
It does.
Not moving there, but I don't mind going and visiting and seeing them a lot. You will. You won't believe what it's like. You know how when you're raising your own kids, everything you do is wrong. You just feel like and then you're testing on them and all these things. As a grandma, you can do anything. and of course you're going to be wrong because your kids will tell you, like you can't give them any more sugar, or come on, you have bought enough presents.
Oh my gosh! Well, my daughter's already saying that. She's like, "Mom, how many clothes can he have?" And I said, "Probably not as much as I've gotten, so we can get a little bit more. It'll be fine."
Oh, it's just don't ever stop because you can just spoil them like crazy. That's the part of it that's so wonderful and then the relationships you have with them when they get older, you won't believe it. Because I have 2.5 and 17, and it's different.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see what's next. After 170 episodes of Rethinking Learning podcast, what is the favorite thing you have learned, a favorite memory, and your why behind the podcast?
Oh, there's so many. I'm going to start all the way back to number 12 with Thomas Murray.
Okay.
And I didn't do a good job. I mean, in the beginning, we were using wrong tools. I couldn't get the tech to work right. But Tom did one thing with me all the time. He kept saying my name. And I went, that's so cool. Every time. And so I learned then to do that is, like I would be working and talking and they're talking and I've got to interrupt them somehow. So I'll say their name and they turn and look at me, because you're on Zoom and sometimes they won't. So I've used that a lot. And I have some great stories there. I don't want to say the person's name because I don't know, but it's somebody very special. And she was sharing her life. And then she goes, I've never told anyone this before. So I hit pause and I said, I'm putting this up on the internet. Are you sure you want to do that? And she said, yep, it's time. And she's in her 30s. And she said that before 18, she lived in a bubble. She had immune problems, so she lived her whole life until she was 18 in a bubble.
Wow.
I know. And if I've known her only when she was out of the bubble and very vibrant, and now she's a filmmaker, she's doing all these amazing things. And I went, how did that happen? And she said the company decided to give me the medication for free. It's $7,000 a month. I couldn't afford it. And now it's free, so I can live my life.
Wow.
So you never know what someone's going to say to you in a podcast because they might share something. I mean, I've had several people recently tell me stories that I'm blown away. One of the latest ones is Jade Fresh. I think he's the last one. And his story, I met him when I was at a conference and we're standing in line together, and he starts talking to me. I go, I think we need to talk some more. And I don't even want to tell you. I want people, it's 170, I think.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to tell, I want people to listen, because I also put up a video on the post that he shares about the accident that happened to him that changed his life. And I think all of us need to know, even my story of falling and breaking my leg and my neck, that kind of thing. Some people are afraid to change, and they don't want they don't want bad things to happen to them, but everybody has something bad happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
We all do. It's how we handle it and how we address it. And that's one of the reasons I started my podcast, was to become a better listener, to learn the stories, and to be able to share inspiring stories. And I've always wanted to be, I'm a writer, and I always wanted to write about the stories. And that's how my last book, Grow Your Why, happened. It's 23 people that were on my show and their stories. I probably should do more, because there's so many stories that just blow me away. When you hear people, aren't you? In fact, Sarah Thomas you had on, and Melissa Hayes, they were on my podcast and in my book.
Yes. Well, when Mandy said yes to being on Doodle and Chat, which is the story in itself, I had my own vision for what I wanted Doodle and Chat to be. And then Mandy added her own element. And one of the most special things and I don't even know if I told Mandy this, brought to Doodle and Chat was the fact that we were going to amplify educators' voices and their stories. And whether one person listens to Doodle and Chat or 1,000, which never happens, but it's all here someday when somebody's ready to connect with an educator and their story in this setting. It'll be there for forever and ever. And that's what makes this special, I think, the work that we do.
I so admire you too, because when I tried doodling and I realized I could not do that while I'm talking. There's no way. I don't know how you do it. But the other is you're capturing the essence of what they're saying. It's a real gift. I'm very honored to know you both, and also that you invited me on your show. I'm so excited about it, because I try to find, well, actually, Jimmy Cassis once said this to me. On the show, he shared something he'd never shared with anyone else, that he once was in the FBI, or tried to be. And I went, wait a minute, when did that happen? And he goes, Barbara, you're just like Barbara Walters. You got that out of me. How did you? And I went, that was cool. So, and my mom, I'll just give you a background. My mom was a courtroom artist, and she was a reporter for Associated Press, CBS, and some of the other stations. So I grew up in a house of reporters. And in doing that, some of the things they shared and I learned about I think that was in my background, but I never had the confidence of, you know, being able to interpret. My mom was able to interpret with drawings. She's brilliant, the way she did it. But being able to interpret when someone says something, how to respond to it, how to pull it out so they go the next level. I'm trying to learn how to do that.
Yes, it's definitely, yeah, I would say that that's something that we strive to do. I think the unexpected of the bowl kind of gives us that gift. I don't know how to replicate that without the bowl. I'd be terrified to interview somebody.
Yeah.
I think we would do an okay job, but there's something about that kind of like level of uncertainty and just spontaneousness of the questions that are in the bowl that offers us this, you know, makes us just, it's another layer. But I'm not, but we do strive for that too. We just have a bowl that gives us questions that does it for
I
us.
love it. I mean, you came up with something unique. It's you, and the doodling is you.
Yes.
And having both of you doing it at the same time is like really clever. So I'm very impressed. So
Thank you. It's fun to it's also fun to connect with other creators that do similar work, you know, and we get to learn from each other too. So, and we also venture to say that Mandy feels the same way I do. We're really lucky. I mean, we get to interview educators doing all kinds of wonderful things. It's like free PD every interview for us.
I know. That's how I feel.
Yes.
I always take an idea away with me. Like I always take an idea away with me. Yeah.
Agreed.
That's how I am. And some of these people that I meet, I mean, I might be in a line somewhere and all of a sudden start talking and going, I need to get that by my show. You know, or I've had filmmakers and I've had CEOs. I've had different people that are somehow involved in education, but not in the classroom. But I've had a lot of people that were in the classroom. I mean, some of the things they do, they blow me away.
Us too. Yep. Yes, us too. Educators are amazing people for sure. Oh, here's a little random one for us. What is the oddest license plate or car sticker that you've ever seen on someone's car?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think it through.
I know. You're going to have to go back in the files of your brain, right?
I'm actually trying to think that as well. Like I'm sitting here pondering that question too, because I do look at them often.
I look at them, but in California, they're expensive, really expensive to make your own.
Oh.
So there aren't as many. We have a lot of Teslas here. So we're seeing a lot of bumper stickers on the Teslas that say, it's not my fault.
I have seen those too. I've noticed that. Like I bought this before I knew who he was.
But when it comes to the, you know, I remember seeing some, but I can't picture it in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
It is totally okay.
I don't want to make one up.
No, it's totally okay. The first thing that came to my mind was not even like specific license plates. It was just that like every time we go on a road trip, we play that license plate game where we see how many different states we can find. And I think we got close to like in the 40s one time. That was like a monumental road trip.
You must have gone around the country.
We didn't. We just went to Virginia, but we got really lucky. Like there was somebody had I think they were either towing a car or transporting another car, and they had a Hawaii license plate. We're like, well, that counts.
I don't know how they did that because they have to bring the car up.
I know.
They must have moved here. They must have moved.
We're like, it counts.
It does count. When you're playing those games, you make up the rules.
I could make up my own.
That's right.
Well, I would have GROW somewhere in it.
You would totally have something on your bumper sticker or your car sticker that would say that.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what numbers I'd put with it, but I would do that. And yeah, I didn't tell you that I'm originally from Maryland, though. I forgot to tell you that.
We do know that. And there is a question about that in the bowl.
But then I'll wait.
We should wait.
Because when you said Virginia, I was like, Oh, that is funny. Coming up with your own. I have to think about what I'd like for it.
I don't know. I'd rather do stickers on my card than I would like a vanity plate, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't need a vanity plate. I just want my car to run.
Truth, right?
Yeah.
That is also a true story. Also true.
Well, one thing I'm lucky I have older cars, and I'm very happy with I have a Subaru Forester, and I'm very happy with it. And it's 10 years old, and it just keeps running. It's just wonderful. Well, my son just got a new car. He got a 10-year-old Subaru, but his is red, mine's green. And it's really cute with my little grandson. He goes, Subu, go Subu.
We are a family of Subarus. The only one that doesn't own a Subaru is the one that's actually pregnant. Every other person in my family owns a Subaru.
Oh, how funny. Well, they
We
just
are
last
really
forever,
They do.
and they're safe. They're very safe.
They
too.
are.
Yeah. So, but it's how interesting, because
Yeah.
it'll depend when you have the baby, whatever you change because you want a safe car. Oh, that's so cool. Gosh, you're gonna have so much fun.
I am getting pretty excited. So
When are they due?
October. So we've got a little bit of wait. She's about halfway there. So
Yeah, my grandson was born.
yeah.
He was born in October.
Well, I hope for an October baby. It's my favorite month. Carrie knows this about me. October is my favorite. And so we are also in my family known though to have babies early. And so there's a chance it will be September. But I said October 1st is fine. Just make it October 1st.
Oh, how fun. That's cute that I like when the weather changes, and the colors. And we don't have the colors here. Like, where do you both live? I forgot.
I'm in Missouri.
And I'm in
Illinois, but you get
we get all the seasons.
Seasons. We don't get them as much. So
no, you don't.
But I have a beautiful garden that's the thing. The weather here is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it for sure is. The podcast linked up Breaking Boundaries in Education said about you: before social media, there was education trendsetter and digital pioneer Barbara Bray. What do you love about where education is now, and where do you hope it is in the future?
I knew that AI was coming, and I actually really like it a lot, except now it's a little scary. So what I'm trying to do is figure out, taking courses, learning more about kind of how to use it effectively, but also to be aware of what it can do and what it can't do. And so I'm part of the human intelligent movement, which uses human skills in an AI world. How do you make yourself irreplaceable? So they're not going to come in with AI tools and robots and all these other things to take over what you do. What kinds of things can you do that expands on the AI tools that are out there? What kinds of things can you do to make it so you help? If you're an educator, what can you do to help kids develop their own skills and not depend on AI alone? And so it's kind of, because I'm a writer, I'll just give you one that scared me. Is someone said that Meta actually is using content from people's books. And I said, well, interesting. I'll just put my name in and see. And there it was, one of my books. They had actually the whole book there, which kind of really upsets me about copyright. And what does that mean when people are using it? And do they know it's me? So I asked, I put in some text and I said, please put it in the style of Barbara Bray. And I don't even know if I have a style, but it did. So that meant it knew a little bit about me, which scares me about, will the kids have their own style? Will they grow up
Mm,
developing their own voice, or will they depend on AI to help them? So AI is big, it's never going away, and it's going to be very big. It's going to be integrated everywhere.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can learn a little bit more to help educators, but also come up with ways where the kids have a voice in how they're going to use it. Because kids need a voice. They need to advocate. They need to be invested in the learning, and they need to be um, their own, have agency, so they feel like they're directing their own learning. And that, I don't know how that's going to be. Things are changing with education, but how do we keep that? How do we keep that so kids are strong, and because it's their lives. That's why we do this in the first place. It's for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely new. Everything is new and shiny, and it'll be for sure be interesting to see how it all enhances education, but then also how it all plays out.
So unless you're really, really, really good with AI doing that, like write this in somebody's voice, if you've used it enough, you can recognize it. And I've used AI for things. Like I'll be completely honest with you. Like I will put in for my teacher evaluations, like here are the strengths, here are the weaknesses, type this up for me. Just because it's a time saver. And I always tell them, here's what I put in. And what I wrote here is AI generated, just because I want them, I want to be honest with them. But what I put in was what I actually thought. It's just that I'm a very concise writer. Mine isn't super flowery, and like it would have probably just been a bulleted point list of here's what I think you do well with, and here's what I think you can improve on. So what AI did for me was put it in friendly language for them, because that's just not how I write. So I think it has some benefits, but if you read it enough, you can identify it usually.
Yeah, the thing is that I needed to, someone wrote something and it was just wonderful, but it was really long. So I asked AI to summarize it for me, just so I can get an idea first before I started reading it.
Yep.
So that's a way of helping you.
Yes.
The other is, if I wanted to take, I'm writing proposals right now for some things. So I want to come up with a proposal around a certain thing, and a certain um, presentation with ideas. I'll give them the ideas, and I want it to be able to do this, this, and this. Can you help me with that? And it does give me ideas. Doesn't mean I've got to use them.
Right.
So I understand how AI can make our lives easier.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is kids aren't learning that. They're learning more. They have an essay to write, so they'll have AI help them write it. They need to figure out how to put in their own ideas first and then use it.
Yep.
And the thing about, we don't even know we're using AI. You're using AI every day when you're doing any searches, or when you're Grammarly is doing in, and that's AI. It's there.
Right.
You go to Amazon, you order something, then up comes, here's, would you like this? Because it's, everything is there already. It's just, how do you use it for learning, but also your own voice stays with it.
Yep. That's where we need to go next. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I've done in the past, and because I was around before phones. That's how old I am. And I mean, the smartphones. And I remember in 93, I did a presentation at a high school that my kids were at. And I came out with a chair, and on the chair, I put a TV, and then I put a radio, and then I put a phone, and then I just filled it with all these things, and then I wrapped a bow around it, and I guess what? And then I pulled out one of those gigantic mobile phones at that time. You're going to see this in the future.
Yep.
It's going to be all in one of these much smaller because of, Moore's law and all of that. Because I tried to make a point at the time because everyone wanted to stay, they didn't want to use technology then. And then when the internet came, everyone was scared and they didn't want to use the internet. I mean, it's like when the first, long ago, everything we had, they fought it.
Right.
Everything, we came up with this, came up with that. And
so I used to, when I taught web design, I used to teach a class, and their final project was they were supposed to take every year that they had been alive and look at the innovations and the highlights of what had happened for every year. And I did that for me as well. And not my whole entire life, but I kind of hit some of the highlights with it. And students were always completely shocked.
I know
what I had seen in my life that we didn't have, like I remember when we didn't have computers. Like I was in elementary school, middle school, when we got our first Apple IIe. Like that was huge. And just what had changed in my lifetime, and then to have them look and see what had changed in their lifetime. It was such a great activity for them to see like how fast things move.
And they're moving faster.
Yes.
But what a great, I love that. I'm writing it down. I just love that because I think with me, because I've been around a long time, and watching, with reporters and with business people and other people, what they brought in their lives. I did I coach people, and I was coaching a friend of mine, mother, who is 99. I started when she was 97 to write her book and her memoirs. And she was telling me the stories of what she had and what she did because of those years. And what amazes me is how much she did without very little technology, how she changed the world. She was amazing. One day her book's going to come out because she passed away 37 days before she turned 100.
Oh no.
And my friend is Eileen Winokur, and so it's her mother, and her family is working on her book, which I hope, because she just was brilliant. And I love working with people who can share that, life gives you exciting things you don't even know what you can do. And she was one that did that. And that's what I'm trying to find is what is it that you're doing that could help other people? Because you could, just like what you did with the highlighting the innovations, I love that.
It was a really cool activity. And the students always really liked it too. Just as a nice little reflection on here's what has happened in my life.
Yeah, that is fun. That is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Well, the thing that struck me about your answer to the question too is, like staying authentic, student voice, personalized learning, or making learning personal, making sure students are critical thinkers. None of that has changed. Like that is still the message that we've had since like when I remember like the internet and other things coming into education and the struggle that we found about letting kids Google stuff, like it's still at the forefront of what good educators want to do. Nothing's changed. It's still our path, right?
Yeah. I hope.
I do too. Yes, I hope for sure.
I love it.
Even more now than ever, right?
Yes.
We just have to keep after it. Do the best we can.
We do. What is your most used emoji?
Oh, the heart.
Aww.
It is the heart because someone once said to me, "You just love everybody. You love everything." And I said, "I guess I do, because I put the heart on everything. I can't help it." When someone shares something like Mandy did and Carrie just did, I just want to put a heart. I just wrote a heart on the page. And so that's me. I just love it.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours, Mandy?
If I am responding to somebody, I have a lot of thumbs up. And then I usually have like the which apparently for people our age, we're doing it wrong, but it's the laughing, crying emoji.
Okay, what are we doing wrong about that? Because that's probably the one I use the most also.
I know. So apparently that doesn't I mean, according to the younger people, that doesn't actually mean that you're laughing, crying. It meant something else because it popped up one day and I was like, well, I still use it to say that I'm laughing so hard that I'm crying, because I probably am laughing so hard that I'm crying. So,
for real.
I use that one a lot.
Mandy, I use that one too. Because I'm silly.
Yeah.
And then people start laughing, then I laugh back.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? For sure. For sure. Oh, I can't wait to hear your answer to this question. On a great day for Barbara Bray, what would you do? Who would you spend it with? And what would you eat?
Well, I have several really, really good friends, but I have my husband.
Yes.
And he's my best friend. I have the most wonderful garden. I would probably sitting on in this beautiful spring day, sit on I have this really nice lounge out there and put the umbrella up because the sun's out, and I'd have my coffee. I love coffee. Probably maybe dip a really good something in it, like a biscotti or something. I also have some very, very good friends I've had for 30, 40 years. And we try to get together and they come over and sit on my porch with me, my patio. And I have someone coming next Friday who I just love and adore. She's somebody very, very close to me. Her name's Jan, and we've known each other for 40 years, maybe longer. And so we always do something to celebrate our birthdays together and times together. But I'm just the fortunate. I have neighbors who I love to be with, and we get together every month if we can. I have two neighbors, and we go in each other's yard and we share our gardens with each other. I have a very good life. I'm very lucky. I love that you're making flowers in my garden. Carrie,
in my Barbara Bray research, I did see pictures of your garden, and you do have a very beautiful, very colorful garden.
It's just so beautiful right now.
And very unique flowers, for sure.
Yeah, and we're trying to grow. We grew last year a lot of vegetables, and now we're doing more this year. And fruit, and we have fruit trees. We have blueberries that are coming out right now. I mean, I have a very good life. I have half an acre in Oakland, California. How many people can say they have? And I live next door to someone who owned an urban garden store, but now she does it in a garden, and she's amazing. I mean, people have bees. My son's a beekeeper on the side, so I don't have to worry. I have so many bees here that are just. He even taught me how to pet a bee. And I'm so scared of bees. He taught me how to do that safely. I'm not kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Under something. I have a picture of that I should show you somewhere. But yeah, I'm very fortunate. And my husband's a gardener, so he's the one that does all this beautiful work. He's amazing. He keeps after it, keeps the weeds down. The only thing that's bad are gophers. We have a lot of gophers.
Yeah. And the squirrels. My squirrels have been in my garden, and that's just.
Oh, our squirrels are my husband, he went, I came home one day and there's this gigantic thing on the front porch. It was a squirrel nader. I said, what in the world? I got to get rid of the squirrels. It didn't work, but
No.
They usually
yeah,
don't.
yeah. When you have a garden and and we have a lot of people in the gardens and stuff, we're sharing our gophers and our squirrels and everything. You can't help it.
Yeah.
How fun.
And the birds. We have birds that like to put nests up underneath on the eaves, and
Yep.
they're messy. And
Yes,
but
they
it
are.
is at one point we missed one and we found the little birdie's eggs. They were so cute. So sometimes things that aren't good turn out good, in the long run. Squirrels know. They're crazy. They're crazy. And they're hang from I have outside my window here, I have 3 bird feeders, and they can't get into them, so they hang from them.
Yes. I can relate to that as well.
Oh, that's fun. I can't believe how much you're doing. It's beautiful.
Next part. I'm debating whether or not to draw a squirrel or not, because so far I can draw a squirrel. I haven't drawn one in a while, but I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess this up.
No, you're fine. I don't need a squirrel on my page.
They're just they're just so sassy and
Yeah.
intentful in what they want. So
Yeah. Well, we have turkeys too, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have turkey. They fly, by the way.
They just fly around the neighborhood?
They're well, they walk up and down the street, and then the males are, they're like they're fighting by flaunting their feathers, and then at one point they came flying in our yard and they were on the fences, and the males are the female. I think it's amazing, but they're messy. So we have an interesting, because we have a lot of vegetation, and they're building behind us. The Navy closed, so some of the wildlife don't have any place to go except up here. So
Yep.
we can do it. We have deer. We have everything. As long as they don't come in our yard, we're fine.
Just know you exist, but you can stay where you're at.
Yeah. Sometimes they're really beautiful with all their, they got all their antlers that are, you go, wow. But I don't want them on the porch.
For real. For sure. For sure. All right. Well, leading us right into randomness, what is your best animal impression?
Oh, my animal impression?
This is a random one from the bowl. It must have listened to us. The bowl has its own AI.
I'm trying to think. Well, the only thing I could think of is I had a cat and I had 2 dogs. I don't have any pets right now. So I had 2 Goldens, and my Goldens would just go up to me and give me little love. And they were big, and they would hug, and sometimes they get in my lap. I loved them. And my cat was sassy. My cat was a sassy cat who he would sit on my computer.
Uh-huh.
And I come in, I go, gosh, I should have closed it. And there he was sitting on my computer. And one time my cat, it was the gray and white cat, and beautiful cat, really. But he would sit on there. And then for some reason, if I had something open, he would type with his butt. And one day he sent it to somebody, and they wrote back, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. So I had to be careful. I didn't leave my computer open. Yeah, I love animals and pets, and I love the wildlife and the birds and everything. So
That's fun.
But the dogs I can really do that. That's a funny one. That's a funny one, Carrie.
Yes, it was a funny one for sure. How has your philosophy of education evolved over the years?
It evolved from the stories, really. It helped me because when I ended up managing co-managing a grant, and one was 4 through 8. That was 5 years, then 9 through 12 for another 5 years. And what I found that we needed to do is showcase with the grant, showcase what's going on. So I started learning, this was some time ago, 98 through 2004. And then after that, that's when I realized we have to showcase what's going on in the classroom. We have to let people know. And at one point I said, we need the kids to tell their stories. So I put on showcases. And this is at Oakland Unified School District. And there was one class, a 5th grade class, who the kids really wanted technology and there was no opportunities. And I had done some work with Apple. There was a grant. So I told the teacher about it. The kids wrote a grant and they got it.
Nice.
And they won a lab for their classroom and they got to go to Apple. And I mean, think about, kids can do anything if we give them the opportunities. And that was long ago when things were just, technology was just starting. So that to me was the beginning of giving them more voice. So that's how I started. And then it's evolved with writing books, telling people stories. And now Grow Your Why these are all stories of people being challenged and how they overcame them to find their purpose. And so that's where I'm at, but I'm still working on some new books and I'm helping people right there. So it makes me feel good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love the reminder of the importance of our stories in a time that teachers aren't as connected as we've always been. And I think some of us are hesitant to share more than we used to. It's kind of, I'm waiting for that turnaround for us to go back into that mode.
Yeah.
I miss it. You know?
Well, I worked with, I don't know if you know Erica Sandstrom and Jerry Kimball. I don't know if you know the two of them, but we did Unveil Your Inner Rock Star at FETC, and we're doing it at ISTE. And just to get people to come out of their shell and share who they are and be really silly and have fun. So we're doing that. And it's brought me closer to people who are doing some of those things. Like, I don't want to give all the names away, but there's some people you need to have on your show. I can give you some. But yeah, and so that's where I'm at now. It's finding these amazing people who, their stories that will help others say, well, I have something like that. I could do that. That kind of thing.
I love it. So thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful Doodle and Chat with Friends episode, Barbara. Every time we have a new friend on our show with us, we have a giveaway, and Barbara has generously offered to donate to find your why. So people, when you're watching this episode, join us out on our social media and look and see how you can be a part of this free giveaway. It's always a fun way to connect with our guests and also their books or the books that they love. Thank you so much for your time, Barbara. This was just wonderful. And if you were here with us today and you drew along and doodled and chat with us, please snap a picture of your doodle and chat and share it out on your favorite social media platform so Barbara can see it and everybody else can see all the fun that we have here on every episode of Doodle and Chat with Friends. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.